Hello everyone, I'm Mandi Hutchinson and I'm here today with...
Ashley Gariepy.
And today we'll be doing a preview of the game.
Everyone else thinks this game is awesome. This game comes to Kickstarter on Tuesday, August 24th, 2021.
Please note that the rules and components are not final and they will be subject to change. All right, well, I think we all want to see what this game's about, so let's start off with the setup. Everyone else thinks this game is awesome is a science trivia game with a twist. Each turn, a question is asked, everyone simultaneously writes their answers down, then players will have an opportunity to assign grad students to different locations depending on who, if anyone, they think correctly answered the question.
Answers are then revealed, including the correct answer, and depending on where a player assigned their grad students will determine whether they earn or lose points, which are necessary to climb the academic ladder and earn the title of Emeritus Professor, and also win the game. To set up a game of Everyone Else Thinks This Game is Awesome, place the lab board, the ivory tower, and the question cards, answer side down, on the table within reach of all players. Each player then takes an answer board, a dry erase marker, and a set of grad students in their player color. Additionally, each player places their tracker at 0 on the ivory tower. Each turn of Everyone Else Thinks This Game is Awesome plays as follows. A question is read, answers to the question are written down, grad students are assigned to various locations in the hope of earning points. Answers are then revealed and points are earned or lost.
This flow of play continues until a player reaches 20 or more citation points, signaling the end of the round, and the first player to win 3 rounds wins the game. Let's now take a closer look at the gameplay.
Question and answer. The player who most recently completed a school assignment is the first question reader. The player to their left chooses a number between 1 and 5, and the question reader reads that question aloud from a new question card. Each player, including the question reader, secretly writes down their answer on their answer board. Question and answer example. Instead of bones, what are shark skeletons made of? Cartilage. After everyone has written down an answer, players have the opportunity to assign grad students to locations on the lab board to try to predict who answered the question correctly and score citation points. Starting with the question reader and continuing clockwise around the table, players may assign 0 to 3 grad students to their own lab. Assigning grad students to your own lab will score you points if you have answered the question correctly. Then, beginning with the player to the left of the question reader, players may assign 0, 1, or 2 grad students to another player's lab, their own lab, the conference center, or the cafeteria. Players are free to split up and spread their grad students over multiple locations. You'll want to assign grad students to other players' labs if you think that they have answered the question correctly, because if they do, you'll score points. The conference center and the cafeteria, however, work a little differently. You'll want to assign grad students to the conference center if you think everyone answered the question correctly, and you'll want to assign grad students to the cafeteria if you think nobody answered correctly.
After all players have had a chance to assign their grad students, everyone reveals their answers, then the correct answer is revealed. Citation points are awarded to each player as follows. 1 point for answering the question correctly, regardless of where your grad students have been assigned on the lab board. 1 point for each of your grad students on a lab whose owner answered correctly. 2 points for each of your grad students on the conference center, only if everyone answered the question correctly. 2 points for each of your grad students on the cafeteria, only if nobody answered correctly. Finally, players lose 1 citation point for each incorrect grad student placement. That is, for each of their grad students assigned to a lab that didn't answer correctly, including their own, as well as the conference center and cafeteria. Play then continues in this way with the next player in clockwise order becoming the new question reader. When a player reaches 20 or more citation points, the round ends. The player who has scored the highest points at 20 or above wins the round. If there's a tie for the highest, all tied players win. Winning the round marks your journey and the progression of your career in academia.
When a player wins a round, they receive a contract thusly. If you have no contract, take one with the assistant professor side up. If you are already an assistant professor, flip over to the contract's tenure side. If you have tenure, then you win the game. After a player receives their contract, all players' citation trackers are reset to 0 and a new round begins. Once a player with a tenure contract wins a round, they are elevated to emeritus status and win the game. Congratulations, you smarty pants!
Well, that's it. There you have it, everybody. That is everyone else thinks this game is awesome. It comes to Kickstarter
on Tuesday, August 24th, 2021.
So you can check it out then. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Bye.